Okay. I have you dealing here with somebody who's very blunt, very like no nonsense. They don't mince words. They don't really sugarcoat. They don't sugarcoat. Whatever comes to mind, whatever comes to their mind comes out of their mouth. And they're very, very unfiltered. Okay. When they're upset, there's like fire and fury. When they're happy, there's a lot of love. There's a lot of just, warmth in their presence. Okay. So I feel like you're dealing with someone who is very emotionally expressive, verbally expressive. When they're hurt, they're going to tell you that they're hurt. And I feel like there was something that happened, and this person did not realize to what extent they hurt you. This person didn't realize that what they said was insensitive. This person didn't realize that what they said undermined you, or what they said was, I want to say, like, was either condescending, was either kind of like hitting below the belt, or it just felt to me like it was unexpected, unintended. And so there's going to be communication coming in to kind of clear this situation between you and this person. I'm also feeling as well, when you're wounded, you really withdraw. Okay. When you're wounded, you don't want to talk about, like, you don't want to sit there and talk about, like, you said this and then it made me feel this way, or I said this and then you start to withdraw, you start to retaliate. I feel like, discussing feelings and emotions, it's not your cup of tea. It's not something that you want to spend time thinking about, talking about, and having long, discussions into the night about these emotions. Like, it makes you uncomfortable. And so these things were never properly discussed or addressed with another person. I'm also seeing as well difficulties dealing with a mother figure, and where somebody is a little bit like unfiltered with the things that they say. It could be, dealing with someone who's very critical, who it's hard for them to give you a compliment. It's hard for them to express, gratitude, and it's just hard for them to express gratitude. It's hard for them to give compliments. It's hard for them to praise. It's hard for them to, I just feel like they lack that in their own life. And so it's really hard for them to pay compliments to other people. And I also feel it's hard for them to pay compliments to you. They might have felt it. They might have wanted to say it, but for whatever reason, when it comes, it just never came out. I just feel like it never came out. And so you weren't really sure where you stand with this person. You weren't really sure if what you were doing was pleasing to them, or you weren't sure if they're, critical of you. And so what I do feel as well is you might have been, you might have been living in the self-doubt based on your interaction with this person, and it colors the way in which you acted with other people, not being able to pay compliments, not being able to open up emotionally, not being able to, open yourself up to pay other compliments, to give gratitude, to give thanks, and to be emotionally present for other people. So I do see here a little bit of a hang up. And I do feel that, since for the past few months, you have been made aware of this, and you're trying your best to kind of turn yourself inside out, to kind of change this part about yourself, to make yourself a lot more emotionally available, and to make yourself kind of get out from under the energy of this person. It's not so much physically the person that's still in your presence, but it's the energy that you've had to live with and had to contend with when you were dealing with this person. So now you're getting out from under that energy so that you can start again. Okay. We have here the Page of Wands. This is starting on a brand new journey. in a very passionate and excited way. This is feeling that sense of like childhood innocence where it's like, you're not thinking about worst case scenarios. You're just thinking about all the positive things that are waiting for you around the corner. Okay. It's very childlike innocence. And I feel like you're embodying this energy where you're walking to situations and not expecting worst case scenarios, not expecting things to fail, but being a lot more open-minded about, this is new. I don't know what's going to happen, so I'm just going to go for it. So I do feel like this childlike innocence is coming back in for a lot of Geminis. I felt like the energy has been very, very heavy since the summertime. And so now that we are transitioning into the end of the month, I feel like you have a better sense of direction. You have a lot more clarity about what you need to really kind of like cast off and leave behind, and then which direction you need to go towards, okay? For many of you, you have a very, very loving and supportive partner around you, okay? I have here the King of Cups. And the King of Cups is someone who's very emotionally mature. And what I mean by this is, for a lot of air signs in general, emotional maturity is what we really look for in a partner, okay? Emotional maturity basically means someone who's, for me at least, and I feel like in this reading, the way it's depicted with this King of Cups, it's somebody who doesn't make decisions or say things out of a space of ego. They're very aware of their intentions. They're very aware of their feelings. They're very aware of who they are as a person, what they feel, what their motives are, what they're hoping to achieve. So it's somebody that doesn't use your feelings against you. It's somebody that doesn't manipulate situations, tell a false narrative in order to, steer your mind towards a specific, like, to bias you, okay? And it's somebody who is like, they give and they love without strings attached, okay? They want what's best for you. And if what's best for you means that you can, go off on your own path, you're no longer with them, they're okay with that because they're emotionally just mature. They understand that, everyone has free will and they don't try to manipulate situations or circumstances to lock you down on a specific course of action that they want you to take. They don't, give you like, they don't withhold information so that you don't have full access to information to make the best optimal decision for yourself. And at the same time, they don't hold back on how they feel. They're going to be very clear with you verbally, how they feel about you at all times. So, this is a person that doesn't play games. This is a person who's very honest with their feelings. What I'm feeling though, and I mentioned earlier that, for Geminis, sitting down and talking about feelings and talking about, how your actions, affect my feelings, those are not conversations that come naturally to an air sign like yourself. Okay. But you have somebody in your midst that's like a very good counterpart or a very good like balance to the way in which you operate. Okay. For many of you in the past, it's sort of like, when things get uncomfortable, when things get a little bit too emotionally heavy or draining, you crack a joke and everyone laughs, and then you can, gracefully kind of slink away from whatever it is that made you uncomfortable. Okay. It's like causing a distraction and then slinking away, slipping out of this conversation because it made you uncomfortable. But I feel like this person, time and time again, they're forcing you to kind of like face up to these conversations. And it can feel a little bit uncomfortable. But I feel like you have an opportunity here to kind of really open up, to kind of communicate. And I'm trying to figure out what the point of this is, okay? And I'm still getting there. So I feel that they're helping you. It's a very stable person in your life who is helping you to be emotionally, open. and you feel really safe with this person. And this might be the only person that you really you trust wholeheartedly, and you trust that no matter what, they're not going to use your feelings against you. Okay. And then I also feel like there might have been a parental figure that might have been critical, that might have used your feelings against you, that might have been a little bit manipulative. And so you're getting out from under that because you're starting to understand from this person the proper way to behave, the proper way to express yourself. This, it's like creating, somebody has created like a little safe space for you to, feel at ease and to feel like you can be vulnerable and you can still feel very, very safe. Okay. You can be emotionally vulnerable, but it doesn't mean that anyone's going to come in and, attack you, or anyone's going to come in and use whatever you said or whatever your feelings are against you to manipulate you into doing things, or even to force you, or even to, change the dynamics in some way to get you to do whatever they want that you might not want to do. So you feel very, very safe, and you feel as if you have like a confidant, a person that you can confide in, because they don't have ulterior motives in their interaction with you. Okay. And I feel like you're starting to see that now. In the past, you have been very, very, I want to say battle scarred. Okay. So once again, I'm drawn to these two cards. Nine of Wands, having your armor up. Okay. This is like a wounded soldier. This is somebody who's been to war, who has seen the carnage, and who's still, in flight or fight mode. Adrenaline is still coursing through their veins, and they're trying to figure out, like, is it done and over? Can I kind of rest? Or do I need to, be vigilant? Do I need to keep one eye open throughout the night to make sure that no one is going to, come back and attack me? So this is like very, it's a space of like, even if you're sleeping, you're not getting restful sleep. Okay. And this is why I would advise you, take a mental health day, stay in bed, watch some movies, do whatever it is to kind of like turn off your brain. Okay. Mindless things to turn off your brain, but getting enough sleep, getting like, full bed rest, that's really important. And this is not a space where we can be making, decisions, that would affect the trajectory of our life. Okay. When we're operating from this fight or flight type of a response, we're not making decisions from the higher chakras. Okay. This is like survival mode. And so I feel like you kind of need to, let the walls down, and take care of yourself, and realize as well that you're in a safe space, that you don't need to be like riled up, or you don't need to be hyper vigilant about what's going to come in. Okay. So I feel that it's really time for you, to let this energy go. We have Ten of Swords as well, betrayal, and now being very weary about who to trust. Okay. So many of you are learning to trust again, learning to love again after a situation has gone sour. Okay. So I feel like in the past, something has really gone downhill, and I feel like it was very swift, very fast, very unexpected. It brought about a major transition or a major shift in your energy. You're able to kind of like cast this aside, and whoever it was or whatever the situation was, they're kind of wondering, what exactly happened? They're kind of like, it's like I keep hearing like a raised eyebrow, like, I'm confused. What exactly happened? So I feel like somebody is left wondering what exactly happened. And for a Gemini to not communicate, it basically means that you've cut off all ties. You've cut off your emotions towards this person, because now they're left very confused. They're left perplexed, and they're left like wondering what exactly happened. And you're not giving them the time of day. You're not giving them an explanation, and you're not giving them, the benefit of it's like, I don't owe you anything anymore. So you've kind of cut this person off, and you're beginning anew. And so I do feel like there was, whatever it was, the situation was, it could be a person, it could be, just circumstances and a lot of things that you had to contend with. And now you're leaving that behind. And what's in store for you with that, leprechaun in a field of clover that I saw was there's still a little bit of lingering doubts in your mind as to, everything that's happening in my future. It's very abundant for many of you. You have brand new projects that you're taking on. You're in a position where you have a lot of support. Okay. You have like family support, family protection, as well as, a relationship partner even who is very, very, emotionally available and who's very supportive of you, that you can always come to when the world is icy and cold, or when things don't go the way that you expected. You can always kind of rely on this person as like your emotional anchor. It's somebody who stabilizes you. They give really good advice as well. And I feel like, their advice is very unbiased because, like I said, they're emotionally just mature. And then I'm also seeing this spiritual energy coming through where you're starting to feel the abundance around you, okay? If you were feeling like this, Ten of Swords, the beginning of the month, or even as we transition through the month of November, towards the end of the year, towards the end of the year because we're in December, towards the middle of the month, even in December, going into the end of the year, we have the Ten of Cups. And then the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is about stability. I mentioned before, it's a happy family unit. Okay. Everybody is taken care of. Things coming back full circle. There's a lot of celebratory energies, reuniting with families, reuniting with friends and people that you kind of like hold as your inner circle. And then we have as well the Ten of Cups, which is kind of like the apex of emotional happiness, satisfaction, getting support and it's like, how when you take like a family photo and you look at it and it's sort of like, it hits you that, wow, everybody I love is in the same room. Okay. Everybody I love is here. Everything that I can hold in the palm of my hand is, right here. So I feel like, getting to the essence of what's really, really important to you. And it's not so much the home, the picket fence, the car, the children, or, the having the exact amount of children. Is pretty much the people that really capture your heart. And so what I'm feeling is, the sense of, gratitude coming in. If gratitude has been lacking because, you grew up and it was never given freely, it was never given without strings attached, you're starting to learn to kind of like give gratitude in a way that is very genuine, in a way that is sincere, in a way that breaks old habits and old patterns regarding these human, I want to say, interactions that might have been very stunted, very cold, and not, I want to say that doesn't really contribute to the emotional openness in an interaction between people. Okay. So I feel like, breaking old habits and old patterns and ways of relating to another person, getting to the essence of what's really important. And I do sense that through this process where you are growing, there has been somebody very significant that has been there with you. They've really taught you how to emotionally open up and how to be a healthy relationship partner and how to, reciprocate not only with words, but with action.